Good day everyone. So by the way, I am Laika Rota and I will going to discuss about the Renaissance period. The Renaissance period in 1400 to 1600. After the period of turmoil brought by the Dark Ages, the revival or cultures from Greece and Rome assured of the arts known as Renaissance or rebirth. Religious and gospel music from the medieval period remained a popular genre during this time, since the Renaissance remained part of the late medieval period. So, what was music during this period? During the Renaissance, music underwent development. First, through the improvement of printing press, music began to circulate all over Europe. And the second, women were accepted to be with men in the musical sense. Third, polyphonic type of music began. Fourth, aristocrats and rich people could afford to hire musicians for celebrations and events. Fifth, secular music became widespread as it was commercially recognized. Sixth, instrumental music gained its attractiveness to many compared to the vocal music. And lastly, vocal music still existed. So, we have the terminologies were commonly used during this period. So, we have harmony, triad, major triad, minor triad, and word painting, and Renaissance motet, Renaissance mass, Renaissance madrigal. So, harmony refers to the combinations of multiple sounds or pitches played simultaneously to create chords or chord progressions. And the second one is triad. Triad is a three-note chord consisting of a root note, a third above the root, and a fifth above the root. Then major triad is the three-note chord consisting of a major triad third, four semitones above the root, followed by a minor third, three semitones above the major third. So the next one is minor triad. Minor triad is a three-note chord consisting of a minor third, three semitones above the root, followed by a major third, four semitones above the minor third. And the next one is word painting. Word painting, also known as tone. Tone painting or text painting is a musical technique where the music reflects the literal meaning. So the next is Renaissance motet. Renaissance motet is a vocal composition popular during the Renaissance era, 15th and 16th centuries. And the next one is Renaissance mass. A mass is a sacred musical composition used in the Roman Catholic Church for the celebrations of the Eucharist. During the Renaissance, composers such as Josquin des Prez and Giovanni Perloigi da Palestrina elevated the art of mass compositions. So the last one is Renaissance madrigal. A madrigal is a secular vocal composition that flourished during the Renaissance. So next we have the musical instrument during the Renaissance, which is recorder, shawn, sackbut, lute, organ, and harpsichord. So the first one is recorder. Recorder is also known as a flute or a pipe. The recorder is a woodwind instrument that belongs to the family of end-blown flutes. The next is shawn. The term shawn generally refers to a medieval woodwind instrument that is similar to the modern oboe, and it has a double reed and a cylindrical tube with finger holes. The next, sackbut. The sackbut is an early form of the trombone. It is a brass instrument with a telescoping slide that allows the player to change the length of the tubing, thereby altering the pitch. And the next one is lute. The lute is a plucked string instrument with a pear-shaped body and fretted neck. It has a soundboard with a series of string stretches across it, which are played by plucking with the fingers or a pick. Next, organ. A large and a complex instrument, the organ is a keyboard instrument that produces sounds by passing air through pipes. It consists of the several different sets of pipes, each producing a unique timbre and pitch. And the last one, we have the harpsichord. The harpsichord is another keyboard instrument similar to the piano. It has strings that are plucked by quills or plectra when the keys are struck rather than being struck by hammers like in a piano. So this is the famous composers who contributed their compositions to a greatness in the Renaissance period. So Josquin des Prez is a French high Renaissance composer, was a key figure in the Franco-Flemish school and significantly influenced 16th century European music. He developed a complex polyphony styles and emphasized text music, relationships, and used shorter repeated motifs. And also his famous work is Ave Maria Virgo Serena in 1475. So the next we have the Giovanni Perloigi da Palestrina. It is an Italian composer of late Renaissance music. Is considered the leading composer of late 16th century Europe. He is known for his masses and motets, which influenced a church and secular music, particularly counterpoint. And also his famous work is Pope Marcello's Mass in 1552 to 1553. So the last one is Thomas Wilkes, one of the finest English madrigals and organist and church composer, and his famous work is As Vista Was Descending in 1601. It is an honor of Queen Elizabeth. Next is Baroque period in 1600 to 1750. During the age of absolutism, monarchies accumulated wealth, controlled the power of the state, and built empires. Monarchies commissioned artists to embellish their palace with gorgeous art, masterpiece, and organized musical orchestra, and very important occasion for the guests and members of royal families. The word Baroque means bizarre. Art during the Baroque period is described as flamboyant and elaborately ornamented. There was a popularity and recognition of the vocal and instrumental music during this period. Group performance and music were also popular in this period. The musical genre during the Baroque period is for entertainment. The Baroque music is known for the use of the harpsichord and the violin family of instrumentation as a dominant musical instrument. The orchestra was the most famous musical genre. It comprised of large group of musicians who played together on various instruments, usually with a complete set of string, wind, and percussion sections and instrumentation. This became popular until the remaining period of 20th century as a form of a social entertainment. So, how do you identify the Baroque music in different periods of history? First, we have the unity of mood. Unity of mood refers to the overall emotional atmosphere or feeling conveyed by a piece of music. It relates to how the various musical components work together to establish a consistent emotional tone throughout the composition. The second one is rhythm. Rhythm is an organized pattern of sounds and silences in music. It provides the framework for the musical performance, giving it a sense of timing, pulse, and groove. The third one, we have melody. Melody is a sequence of musical tones that form a memorable and recognizable music line. It typically serves as the primary focus and theme of compositions, often carried by a single instrument or voice. Next, dynamics refers to the variations in volume, intensity, and strength of the sounds in a musical performance. The use of dynamics adds depth, contrast, and expressiveness to the music, ranging from soft and delicate passages to loud and powerful sections. Next is texture. Describe how different musical elements are combined and layered to create the overall sounds. It can be dense, of sparse, and it can vary from a single line of music to multiple stimultaneous layers of harmony and melody. Next is chords and basso continuo, a related concept in harmony. Chords are a group of three or more notes played together, creating a harmonic foundations of the music. Basso continuo, commonly found in Baroque music, refers to a continuous bass line that provides harmonic support and structure, often played a keyboard instrument such as a harpsichord or organ. The last one is words and music. Together refers to the relationship between lyrics and words and the accompanying musical composition. When combined, they create a powerful means of storytelling and self-expressions, allowing the musical to convey additional emotion, narratives, or messages beyond the instrumental elements alone. Next is we have the musical terminologies. Next is musical instrument during the Baroque period. First, we have the harpsichord. Harpsichord defined in Renaissance period. Second one is violin. Violin is the soprano voice of the violin family of instrumentations that usually has a set of 4 strings with the F holes and scroll and played with a bow. And the third one is viola, the alto voice of the violin family and a bit larger than the violin. Next is cello. The player will always be in a seated manner and the tenor voice of the violin family of instrumentation. And the last one is we have the double bass. The double bass is the biggest of the violin family of instrumentations and in the bass voice of the group. String sections, how conductors say it, violin, viola, cello, and double bass. However, ang uban, ilang pagtanawan is matawag nila nga violin gyapon, then big violin o giant violin lang. So next is we have the famous Baroque composers, which is Johann Sebastian Bach. It is a German composer and musician known for his late Baroque works. Is considered one of the greatest composers in the Western music. His work include orchestral, keyboard, organ, and vocal pieces, including the Brandenburg concertos. The next is Antonio Vivaldi. He was known as a praised violin teacher, composer, conductor, and his popular work is Concerto for Violin and String Orchestra.